Friends, the legislation has continued to come thick and fast this week, and we're so grateful for your support and for your prayers as we keep dealing with this flood of legislation that's been coming both at the federal and state level. Just this week, we lodged our submission to the Queensland government on their review of their hate speech legislation, and we lodged a submission to New South Wales government in the review of their VAD, their voluntary assisted dying legislation, in which we argued that their conscientious objection protections just are not sufficient. And then Victoria has now just released a couple of inquiries, the most significant one being into conversion practices legislation. And the inquiry is effectively complaining that there have been no prosecutions about conversion therapy legislation since the law was passed. And so asking if it needed to be more strict. In and amongst all the noise, it's really easy to be reactive. And we do try to be proactive in protecting some of the good religious freedoms that we have here in Australia. And in particular, one of the ones that I'm very passionate about is in New South Wales and Queensland, we've got strong school scripture programs. New South Wales, in fact, the government requires schools to allow school scripture to be taught. In New South Wales, it's called SRE. In Queensland, it's called RI. And this is a great expression of our multi-faith, multicultural Australia, that anybody can be part of a public school. You don't have to leave your faith at the door. You can come and participate fully in our society and in our public schools. So both Queensland and New South Wales, the government has had strong bipartisan support for these programs, and we want to keep it that way. So what we're doing is we're running a campaign just encouraging Christians across New South Wales and Queensland to write to their state MP and thank them. Thank them for the historical bipartisan support of SRE and RI, and ask them, are they going to commit to protecting it and helping it to thrive into the future? It's a simple, positive, friendly campaign, which has got a couple of advantages. One, of course, it's protecting a very important expression of religious freedom and presence of faith communities in our public schools. But also, it reminds our politicians that faith communities are here. Next time some legislation comes up that you need to think about, just remember all these positive letters that you received from all these Christians across New South Wales, across Queensland, advocating for basic religious freedoms like SRE. And so it leaves a positive impression with our politicians of how many of us there are and that we are engaged in politics. So we think this is a great opportunity for us to engage well with our local politicians. Again, thank you so much for your prayers, for your support and your encouragement as we keep fighting through these unprecedented times in religious freedom issues.